Hi, it's Ian, your nurse and your transformational coach. So, welcome back to Strategy Saturday. So, this week we're talking about the mad woman in the attic. You're like, the what? Yeah, that's your inner critic. And I love the concept of it being the mad woman in the attic. So, we all have that mad woman or man in the attic, that inner critic that seems to always go to the negative, right? And can be really, really harsh. Whose voice is yours? Is she you? Just a different version of you, someone you know. Take that time to kind of stop and focus on her and really listen to her. What does she say? Is it motivating? Is it constantly pushing you? What is her positive intention for you? Something to think about, right? So, this concept comes from Emily and Emila Nagoski, and their book Burnout: The Secrets to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. Very good book. More to come on that. Hopefully, in the new year, we're going to do some more stuff on that. But how many of you read Jane Eyre? I'm not the only one, right? The Mad Woman in the Attic, where Rochester locks his wife, who's insane, in the attic. It's kind of a demon of our past and our present that taunts us and tries to stop us from doing the things we want most to do. That's a quote right from their book. So we all have different mad women. Someone who follows you around or lurks under the bed, or is it that 6-year-old that won't shut up until you give her something? Usually it's an uncomfortable, unpleasant person that constantly says, told you so, right? She's a part of us that tries to bridge the chasm between us and what society expects of us, especially as caregivers, that human giver syndrome. So our culture says we need to be perfect. Remember, I'm a recovering perfectionist, and it's okay to admit that. It's okay to be recovering from it and to learn what we need to do to move forward, though, right? So there's a lot of pressure in that, right? So how do we kind of constantly get through that where we're trying to achieve our greatness, and that mad woman in the attic just pushes us or whips us into going and doing things that we can achieve, right? Go big or go home. So why aren't we doing more? Um, why aren't we taking better care of ourselves or easing up on things? We just keep going and going and going, right? What will people think if we don't succeed or if you stop because you're exhausted? No one really cares how you feel. You just need to be successful in society's eyes, in my eyes. Is that what your mad woman's telling you, right? So if you're beating yourself up when you said no to something, that was her. Or are you sure that that broken relationship was all your fault, right? That's the mad woman. Or the big one for most of us, when you struggle and look in the mirror, it's that one bad woman looking back at you when she said all those negative things. So, what's your mad woman like? What does she say to you? Is she trying to be protective, or has she become maybe a little bit more destructive? Take a few minutes to imagine what she's like. It's often a fragile, uncomfortable part of ourselves, right? We don't really want to go there. We don't want to necessarily even talk to her, just tell her to go away, right? But ask her what she actually feels. Is it some anger? She just feeling that extra pressure of everything going on? Listen to her stories, right? Remember, she is there. She is a part of her, part of you, I should say. But don't forget that she is a mad woman. That reminds her that, you know what? I'm grown up. I'm in charge. I'm going to maintain the attic for her so she can stay in it and stay safe. That's okay. Remember to thank her for all that hard work that she's done to help you kind of survive and get through things in the past. Maybe you can even befriend her and show her some gratitude. Have compassion on her and yourself, right? We're all human. We all have that mad woman in our attics. So remember, you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. As individuals and society, give everyone some grace, right? So that's kind of the real question is, why do we do that? Why do we put so much pressure to be that perfectionist and get so mad at people when things just don't go the way they're supposed to? Food for thought for you guys and for myself as well, right? So remember, I'm here helping discouraged women who have lost themselves in the burden of perfectionism to break through and empower them to embrace their self-worth and to step into their true identity, right? So thanks for joining me this week for Strategy Saturday, where we're exploring how to navigate those challenges of nursing and life. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll be having some announcements for that. New year, new you, as we make some changes going into January. So everyone have a great weekend. I will see you next week.